Video 16, management tip, mindset and microbes. Today is a really simple one. It's been cooked, it's been cold. Talk about the effect of cold on calves. It's been a cold start to the year. Why is cold such a challenge for calves? Well, we put milk energy into calves in the first 3 weeks. A calf's lower critical temperature is about 15 degrees. As they start developing their rumen, their lower critical temperature goes up. That means the temperature that they kind of have to work hard to stay warm, that puts metabolism, puts growth on the back foot, and affects immune function. So when we've milk energy going in, it's about heat metabolism, growing, and immune function. So cold suppresses that. It makes calves work warm. It's a bit like your phone battery. If you put on low power mode, all the non-essential apps turn off, and it's about keeping the ones that need to go. So the calf turns into survival mode if it gets cold. There can be breed differences. So if we look at Jersey crosses, they have less fat cover, they're more prone to the cold. That's when we look at milk replacer discussions around higher fat percentages. That's where that comes in, because fat, of course, is a huge energy source. So the young calf for the first 3 weeks, we know this temperature is 15 degrees. We know cold has a big impact. And really the thing we see is when we see periods of cold, what really can be an issue is if we've got cold plus a draft plus moisture. So if you've cold and you have a moist bed, that will suck the energy out of calves. So, cold, drafts, moisture, and less straw, less insulation. That's why when we talked about straw bedding, straw is an incredibly good insulator. People ask about wood chip and other things. They don't have the insulation effect of straw once it's dry. So that's what cold does. So what are our options? Obviously more bedding. A lot of people are using jackets, although I do see people talk about management challenges, but I quite like jackets. The big challenge is, and it's hard to convey this in short videos, is, every farm is different, every shed is different, the weather is continually variable. We just need to know in principle what the cold calves look like. They huddle together, you'll almost see the hair standing up on them. More feed's a great way of combating cold. So if we're keeping an eye on weather changes, we can increase feed. And there's lots of stuff online, general rules, as temperature drops by every 5 degrees, how you can increase energy. Now, some people, if they're feeding milk replacer, will increase the concentration, but I think that affects consistency. I'm always more for a volume increase during periods of time. If calves are on more milk and during periods of cold and sheds are a little bit more cold, I feel they're more robust, plus or minus jackets. I see more people talking about using heat sources. So some people will create microclimates and heat. So I think in the future, one of the variables that maybe in modern calf sheds, we will probably have heat sources that can be turned off and on. They're heavy on energy, but they might be useful to warm parts of the shed. But you need a warm, dry lie, and drainage needs to work well, because if you add heat to moisture, and it can be a problem. So cold affects calves, particularly in the first 3 weeks. There is things we can mitigate. Mindset tip today, progress over perfection. Maybe I said this before, but it's a great rule of mine. I've never been on a perfect farm. And again, I had a conversation with a farmer 2 days ago. This year, the farm's a little bigger. They're putting in a nighttime calver so they can manage colostrum. They're all getting sleep. That's not possible in every farm. A huge one, when you talk about colostrum and colostrum management, is people need sleep. Find a system that works for yourself. We know we want to do all the right things, but something has to work. And I think always prioritize sleep for yourself. In bigger farms, the nighttime calver, that attention to detail going right through, really important. So it's about progress, finding solutions, but prioritize sleep. Microbes today, a lot of questions about dairy to beef. And it's an excellent product for dairy to beef. So if you're buying in calves and you want to use an electrolyte, we've Hydrostim now for rehydration on arrival if they've been transported through marts. But you start a 30 ml protocol per calf per day in milk every day. Super product, because the calf has been through transport, change of farm, often change of diet, change of environment. There's a lot of stress factors there. Stress has a big impact on the gut, as you've seen by previous videos. 30 ml per day. We get great feedback from dairy to beef units on it helping gut health, reducing digestive issues, smoothing the transition, and with 70% of the immune system there, it works well. And there's a real combination between good gut health, good immune function, and good outcomes for things like vaccination use as well. That's it, video 16 today. See you tomorrow for video 17. Happy safe farming.